Okay, so today we're going to be making icon labels 3 ways in Cricut Design Space. The first way is through a vector SVG file, which is this popcorn one here. The second way is actually searching through the Cricut cartridge or clip art library to find an image that we want to use, like this little clock here. And the third way is to use an actual dingbat font that has icons and images on it or as a part of the actual font to build our icons. So first off, the box that I like to use to create my what do you call it? These labels. I love the rounded corners of the label boxes. So the clip art, or I guess it's called a cartridge. The bad thing is I'm not really familiar with the terminology because this is the first Cricut that I've owned is the Cricut Explore, and I kind of refer to what I believe are the cartridge images as clip art. So this cartridge image, we're going to say, is the note card M36831. I did buy this. It is a purchased one, and it's from the Fabulous Finds cartridge. If we go to edit, I like to set the main label border at 1.5 inches and then 0.53 inches in height, and then I use the same thing. I think this is actually grouped. Yes, I use the same clip art or cartridge image as before. Sorry, I use the same cartridge image, the note card, as the blank label spot, and I make that a width of 1.05 inches and a height of 0.41 inches. I'm going to try not to say a lot in this video, but I feel like I'm going to. I'm on an kick for some reason. I don't ever remember saying a lot. But anyway, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find this move to front, this popcorn clip art image here, and the place I like to find images is, if this will load, freepik.com. Now, freepik.com is a library of SVG files, vector files, Illustrator files, things like that are free. You can use them with attribution for commercial use, but you can also use them for personal use if you're not going to sell them or anything. You can see that there's vectors, PSD files, and a bunch of ads sometimes pop up, icons and stock photos. So we're just going to search something that we want to have as an icon. So for example, I'm going to search popcorn because that's the icon that I have, and I'll just hit enter for search. You can see it comes up here with vectors, photos, Photoshop, and then icons. I go over to the icons. You can see it's actually going to show up right here. I go over to the icons tab, and you can see all of these icons that show up. Like this one's really cute, that one's super cute, and you can just choose whatever icon that you want. I'm going to go with this one, which is the one that I have already uploaded, but I think I uploaded it as a PNG because this was an experiment. So I'm going to, you can see if you hover over it, it becomes this like download arrow here that's really faint. It's going to bring up a pop-up box, excuse me, or actually rather it's going to direct you, I believe, to Flat Icon. You can see it's by Flat Icon. My computer's being really slow for some reason right now. But it directed me to Flat Icon for this box of popcorn free icon. You can download it as a PNG. If you click PNG, it's going to bring down a bunch of different colors that you can download and then sizes. We're going to download the SVG file because Cricut can handle, or the Cricut Design Space can handle, an SVG, which is a vector file. See, this is where it comes up where it says you must credit the author for using this. If you're using this for personal use, I mean, if you're sharing this on a blog, if you're creating this or something on a blog, you do want to have the attribution in there as much as you can. You want to have your hands clean of any copyright infringement that, you know, might be happening. So this is how to credit the icon. Here, if you're doing it on the web, you can also click on this link to credit the author for the icon if you're doing a print publication, or maybe if you're making actual stickers yours to sell or offer for free on your blog as like a download or something like that, you can figure out how to credit the author that way. So we're going to go to free download. It's going to download to the bottom of your screen here. I'm on a Mac system, but it's quite similar for if you're on Windows or whatnot. And you see it did download to the bottom here, so we're going to go back over to the Cricut Design Space. And we're going to click on Insert Images here. I have already uploaded this one. I tried to do this before and it didn't quite work. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to upload images. So here you can see you have the image or the pattern fill, which is something new that I do plan on doing some videos on. I just haven't figured out exactly what I want to do just yet. So you can see these are the type of files that the Design Space can handle. So we're going to go to Upload Image. You can see SVG is in there. We're going to go to Browse. And this has downloaded to my downloads section, Rainbow Wheel of Death, download section on my desktop or on my hard drive, if you will. And so once this is downloaded and you click on upload the image, it's going to come up where, you know, you can search your computer for it. I know it's in my downloads file. I know it's the Popcorn SVG. We're going to click open. It's going to upload it as an SVG, and you can see it says we're converting your image into cut paths instead of being a PNG where we would have to download it and set it as white or pink or purple or blue or whatever. And you can also, if you do want to download it as a PNG, you can set this for whatever color using whatever hex code that you want. Somebody is live on Periscope right now. So now that we have that in there, I'm just going to leave it as the name Popcorn1 and you'll hit save. I believe I already have it in here though. And I'm going to close out of my downloads button here. So you can see, whoops. This is it uploaded as a PNG where I did save it as a white PNG, and then these two are the SVG files. I believe, no, it's not going to tell you on here, but these are the two SVG files. This one is the one we just uploaded, so we're going to insert this image. And now that it is an SVG file, you can see that we can stretch and manipulate it just like we could any other clip art or cartridge image that is in the Cricut Design Space like cartridge library. So if we go over to layers, it's actually broken up this entire image into different layers. So you have a layer for each popcorn piece, things like that. We're going to go and change them all to print, obviously, because we are going to do a print then cut sticker here. So I'm just going to change them all to print, and then we're going to change them all to white. And you want to do this before you flatten the image, just because you will not be able to edit the colors once the image is flattened. So I am going to, whoops, I didn't change that one to white. White. Okay. So I'm just going to select this again, and I'm going to flatten the image. And you can see that changes it to be a flattened set. You can still stretch and manipulate it. It's not going to lose its integrity image-wise. So let's see here. This is the PNG. I'm actually going to remove that one because the SVG vector file is going to work a lot better. So then once you have your base laid down for this little label box here, and I just use, so when I have these two boxes here, I kind of just highlight them, selecting them both, and then I go to align and I center vertically so that the space here and the space here is even, and then I just manually push this white box over until I feel like this section here is even, and then that leaves this space here open for the icon that you want to put in. And let's say you kind of put it over here, that's not even, you can then again select all here by just dragging your cursor over every image that you want to be selected and align, and then center vertically, and that brings it up to be vertically in the main pink box. So then we can take this, I always, whoops, I didn't right click, I always select all, and then I group them together so that I can move this guy around, and you can duplicate him. Actually we can do so, copy, paste, And then let's say I want to change this background color here to teal. Now I have a pink and a teal label box. So now we're going to go over and work on something like this. I'm actually going to duplicate this one and paste, because I'm going to search for another icon to put in here. I'm going to ungroup this, and we're going to click on this one, and I'm going to show you. This is from the First Few Years cartridge, and it's the clock M417A0. And so you can search for it in this cartridge collection here, the First Years. So I'm going to delete this, and then we can go over to Insert Images. For the Insert Images tab, you can search for various things. Like I just typed in glasses. Let's say we want to make an icon to denote when we're going to read a book or something like that. So then you can go through and find the glasses that you want, or any other kind of thing that you want. I think I'm going to go with this red pair just because it is free. If I can select it here, and then we can insert the image, and I think I'm going to have to zoom out yet because you can see those are huge. So we'll just make them smaller, and I'm going to zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. Come here, glasses. Obviously you can make them small enough to fit in this frame here, or you can rotate them, or maybe put them sideways. I mean, it's all up to you as what you're going to do and what you want something to denote something else as. We're going to change this to print. Of course, you could always just flatten each image as you go. You could leave it all as cut and then flatten it as you go. I just do not like, personally, when I'm working with the images, to see this cut line around it. So I just hit print. And then we can select this again, and we can distribute vertically, and kind of maybe move this over. And then sometimes if you don't like visually how the vertical distribute works, you can just move it around. No one's going to sue you if you know, if it's not perfectly centered. No one's going to be that mad at you. So we can go with that, and then again you can group all of these together, and we can change the color to something else that we want and have a design like that. And so you can just go through the different cartridges, the different search terms, anything that you want to be able to create your own icons. The next one, we're actually going to add text to make an icon label. We're starting with the same base. Again, this is actually, if we click on edit, this is the multimedia icons font that I downloaded from DaFont. And so DaFont, which sounds hilarious, is a website with free fonts. So I like to go under the Dingbats file, which also or I guess section, which also sounds hilarious, and you can download various dingbats. So for example, this one is social shapes. It is free for personal use, meaning that you cannot use this and sell it. You cannot make a sticker, you cannot make an insert, you cannot make anything that has this and sell it, because it is free only for personal use. Some of them, let's see, if we click on DaFont, let me see here. It doesn't say anything. There's a donate button. Sometimes it will say in the section there, let's click back on it. Sometimes it'll say in this little section here, like click here for commercial use, or you know, donate anything for commercial use, so you could donate to the author, things like that. So I like to flip through the dingbats section and see what kind of dingbats are hanging out under there. You can find some banners, you can find various, you know, online internet things, you can find some naughty things, apparently. I don't know if you all saw that as it scrolled by. You can find little things, anything that you might want to use as an icon. I did find this font, which is Multimedia Icons, and this is 100% free. Let's see, we can click here and it says various information about here. It doesn't really say anything there, but it'll say, you know, what's about it. When you download this, it might also come with a license text document that you should read and understand. If it's not something that you agree to, then you should definitely delete it and not use the font. You can visit this author's website here. It tells you all the information about it. So I've already downloaded this font, but this has a key of all the icons, if you will, that correspond to a letter. If you've never used a dingbat font, it's kind of like webdings or wingdings or something in MS Word. And so Z, when you select this font and you type in Z, you're going to get this @ symbol. When you type in a lowercase e, you're going to get this old school recorder. When you type in a lowercase m, you're going to get this pencil. A lowercase k, you're going to get a plug thing. It even has numbers. It also has like equal signs, various different symbols that are on your keyboard, and some even have ones that are not on your keyboard that you'd have to go into the special symbols section of your computer to find. So we're going to go back to Cricut Design Space, and this is, like I said, the multimedia icons font, which I downloaded and installed. You'll have to do that based on what kind of system you have. I have a Mac, like I mentioned before, so that's completely different than having a Windows computer. So you will just want to go and add your text. We're going to actually copy this really quickly. Copy, paste, and I'm going to delete. Come on now. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go to add text, and I'm just going to type in a 6. I'm not sure what 6 is in here. Usually if you are adding text from the beginning, like a clean slate, it would come up with the Cricut fonts, I believe, and put this in the generic Cricut font that it has. So this is Three Birds Life. I think it's just some generic one that'll come up. So then from the where this first drop down button, you don't want to select all fonts. I'm just trying to show you where the button is located. You'll want to select System Fonts, because System Fonts is going to be all the fonts that are installed on your computer. So then you can go through and select the various font names that you want to work with. Let's see. So you would just use this search button. I'm going to type in multimedia icons. There's also ones that I have that are, I think it's modern pictograms. Let's see here, modern pictograms. That actually shows up as the like dingbat font. But we'll just go with multimedia icons here. And 6 is this little note page. So you could use this to denote if you have a blog post to write, if you have a list to make, if you want to, you know, say, oh, make a packing list or something. Any sort of icons that you're going to use regularly are, you know, free game here. So we're going to, it's going to automatically have it as cut. We want to change it to print and change it to white, and then we can also highlight it all again, go to align and center vertically, and that brings it over vertically. The space here and the space here is centered. I wanted to manually do that little movement there, so I'm going to center vertically again. There's no way to center horizontally. This, using the align feature, if you do, it's going to bring everything together, and that's not what you want to do. So you want to center vertically and then kind of eyeball it so this space here and this space here are even. Then we can select all again and group. And I'm going to change this to, we're going to do this green color. No. I kind of just want to keep it all different, even though we do have two sort of greens here. Now, if all of these are grouped, if we were to hit go, it would distribute every element across the print image as it sees fit. We want to actually flatten each image so that this whole image here prints together and only cuts the outside line here. So I'm just going to select each item and flatten it. So I have flattened each of these. You can see I have other various things hidden on this canvas. I thought I flattened this one. Let's see here. Flatten. Okay. Every one of these is flattened, meaning when we go to hit go, it's not going to distribute every element across the whole page. This whole image here that's selected within this gray box is going to print just like that. This whole image is going to print just like that. We've actually kind of sort of made a single layer image by flattening it. So we can hit go, and you can see it is only going to cut around each of these images. It's not going to cut out the middle white part. It's not going to do anything crazy like that. So if we want to just flood the page with so many odd of these images, I'm going to type in 5 and hit apply. You can see that Design Space chose to group the items together the way it felt they should be grouped. So you're getting all of these in a line, then all of these in a line, then one random of these, then 3 green popcorns, 4 pink popcorns, 4 clocks, things like that. To make these so that they are all going to print together, I'm going to align the top here, and I'm going to align the bottom here, and I'm going to, I believe these are all already centered together, or centered horizontally, meaning these line up perfectly on the horizontal axis. Center horizontally. Okay, I'm going to group these. So we're going to right click and group, right click and group, right click and group, and I'm going to move them a little bit closer just to conserve space. And I'm going to align the top again. You can see these aren't really aligned, so I'm going to align top. That brings everything together. Then I'm also, if my distribute horizontally button works, distribute horizontally. It looks like they were already distribute horizontal. Distribute horizontally means the space here and the space here, and if we had a fourth one, the space here, etc., would be even. So I'm going to take all of these and I'm going to flatten this into an image. Then I'm going to, so this flattened set means this whole thing is one image that's going to print. Now, it's not going to just cut around this square line here. It will, in fact, cut each individual label individually. We're going to hit go. And if we want to flood the page again with so many odd labels, we'll hit 5. It will actually keep these in their categories. So you're going to get a repeating, list of all the popcorns, alternating the time, the glasses, things like that, and the TV and the notepad and things like that. So you're going to actually get a full set of nicely put together kind of stickers. So I hope that this video was a little bit helpful. I hope that if you are looking to make icons for yourself, or maybe you are starting a shop or something, you have a little bit more understanding of what is free to use and copyright and things like that, and how to attribute, and just keep those things in mind when you're doing that. The Cricut Design Space is really, really easy to use. I love that part of it. I think it's so just user friendly, and you can pick up on it and use the actual features super quickly and just get a professional result super quickly. So again, you can ungroup, unflatten, ungroup all of these, duplicate them, make a bunch of different labels and a bunch of different colors, and print them all out and just have tons and tons of stickers, and it'll be wonderful. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be a ton more Cricut related videos. There's a ton more planner related videos on my channel, and there's also some beauty related videos on my channel. I have a very, I guess, eclectic maybe channel, and some other random stuff. So if you want to stick around, I would love for you to subscribe. I'm going to stop rambling, but I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I will talk to you on my next one. Bye guys.